Ivy Reeves sat at the long mahogany table. The kind of table built to intimidate people into. Silence. It worked on everyone except her. Her brother. Connor leaned back in his chair with a smug smile that didn't quite hide his impatience. The secretary doesn't get a share, he said, almost amused. That was generous of Dad. Honestly, a few soft laughs followed. Her sister Madison didn't even look up from her phone. Tyler twirled a pen like none of this mattered. Then the lawyer cleared his throat. Actually, he said carefully, Dr. Reeves is the legal owner of every patented technology the company uses. The room stopped breathing. Ivy didn't move. Connor frowned. That's not possible. She opened her briefcase and placed a stack of documents on the table. Patent filings, technical diagrams, legal ownership papers, all under my name, Ivy said calmly. Every product, every system, every innovation your company is built on. Silence spread like a crack in glass. The lawyer adjusted his glasses. Without these patents, Reeves Industries has no functional products, only infrastructure and branding. Madison finally looked up. This is some kind of mistake. Ivy almost smiled. No, the mistake was assuming I was just the secretary, and that was where everything began to unravel. For years, Ivy Reeves had been invisible in her own company. To her family, she was the youngest daughter who helped out in the office. She answered emails, scheduled meetings, brought coffee. That was the version they understood. They never questioned why she had two monitors filled with engineering software, or why major tech firms requested meetings with her specifically, or why her father spent hours locked in his office with her every night. Because they didn't want to see her. They wanted to see a secretary, and Ivy had let them. Connor finally broke the silence. You're telling me you built everything? I'm telling you, Ivy replied. You've been profiting from everything I built. Madison scoffed nervously. Even if that's true, the company owns. No, the lawyer interrupted again. The patents were never transferred to the company. They remain personal intellectual property. That landed hard. Tyler leaned forward. So what? We own nothing. Ivy tilted her head slightly. You own a building, machines, a logo. She paused, but not the brain behind any of it. The truth came in layers after that. Ivy wasn't just the secretary. She was the architect of Reeves Industries. Every breakthrough product, every military contract. Every innovation that had built the company's $50 million valuation, all of it traced back to her work she had done quietly for 15 years, while her siblings took credit at board meetings and corporate events. Connor's voice tightened. Dad would never let this happen. Ivy looked at him. Dad knew exactly what was happening. That shut him up because it was true. Their father had signed every patent under Ivy's name. He had seen what she was capable of long before anyone else bothered to look. The lawyer finally spoke again. She has full legal authority to license or withdraw all patents. The room shifted. Suddenly, the company didn't belong to them. It belonged to Leverage. Tyler swallowed. So what do you want? Ivy leaned back slightly. First, she said, recognition, not money. Not revenge. Recognition. You've spent years treating me like I was background noise in a company I built. That ends now. Connor exhaled sharply. Fine. What else? Ivy slid another document onto the table. A licensing agreement. 25% royalty on all existing patents, she said. 50% ownership on anything new I design going forward. Board seat. Official title. No more secretary. Madison stared at her. And if we refuse? Ivy's expression didn't change. Then I walked to Meridian Tech, she said. And let your biggest competitor use my technology instead. The silence after that was immediate and absolute, because they understood something very clearly now. She wasn't bluffing. An hour later, they agreed. Not because they wanted to, because they had no choice. But Ivy wasn't finished. One more condition, she added. Connor groaned. What now? A public acknowledgement, she said. That I was the lead inventor behind Reeves Industries for the last 15 years. Madison blinked. That's humiliating. Ivy looked at her. So was being introduced as Dad's secretary while you signed contracts built on my work. No one argued after that. The transition that followed was uncomfortable. Employees who had ignored her for years suddenly called her doctor. Reeves executives who once dismissed her began asking for her approval. Her siblings tried awkwardly at first to understand what she actually did. Tyler once stared at a design schematic and muttered, "How did you even learn all this?" Ivy didn't look up. "Well, you were at parties. I was working." That ended the conversation. 6 months later, Reeves Industries launched its most advanced product yet, a breakthrough energy system designed entirely by Ivy. The company tripled in value almost overnight. At the press conference, Connor stood beside her. "This is Dr. Ivy Reeves," he said into the microphone. "The lead architect behind our success." The word doctor felt new in their mouths, but it was real. That evening, Ivy stood alone in what used to be her father's office. Now it was hers. Patents lined the walls. Designs she had built in silence. Systems the world now depended on. Her siblings had once thought they were inheriting a legacy. What they didn't realize was simple. There was no legacy without her. Just an empty structure waiting for someone to finally understand who had been holding it together all along. And for 15 years, that person had been the one they never bothered to see.